All right, hello Aquarius. This is Joe with Divine Daily, and I'm going to do just a check-in reading, general reading from March 19th to somewhere about the beginning of April, and just see what we get. If this is something that you have to fit to your situation or stretch, it's not meant for you. You'll know if it's meant for you because you'll feel it. And I do read cards that jump out generally or fall out. Also, I generally don't read reversals in a reading like this, but I may choose to do so. So this is Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, and we have a pile of cards that fall out, so we're not going to take those. And I'm going to pull just a few cards from this deck to kind of get like a past, very recent past, a present, and a very near future. And then we're going to draw some cards from some other decks and see what we get. So things are definitely really weird right now, and for everybody. So keep in mind that, you know, while things are kind of changing and from day to day, life does go on, and we still have an impact on this world, and our lives are still being impacted in probably ways we never would have expected. With that said, let's see if we can kind of get an idea of what is coming your way. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So to me, this is like moving forward with grace, and this is not like a very fast movement. It's not, it's just, some of you might be just carrying yourselves really well, kind of in a brave manner. Some of you might be feeling very like humanitarian-like toward your fellow man because of the way things are right now. But at the same time, you're also very protective of yourself and your family. We have the current situation is the Queen of Swords. So being pragmatic, realistic, right now is kind of where you are at. Aquarius, you have, you know, you probably are not very tolerant right now of a lot of antics. You might just be wanting to cut yourself off from any negativity and any situations that are adding any stress or could potentially add any stress to your life. But why are you moving forward? Where are you going? Like, why are you carrying yourself with this just kind of disgraceful, not disgraceful, graceful movement? It's like very intentional, but let's see. And we have for the very near future 4 wands. So you have some things in your near future that you are very very mindful of, very concerned about. You have plans, you have things that are supposed to get accomplished, things you want to get done. Some of you may have a spring wedding planned, or you might have graduations, you might have any number of things, and your biggest concern is, you know, what is going to happen in my near future? Am I going to be able to plan for things? Am I going to be able to, you know, continue with my day-to-day and get the things I have planned done? So these are some questions you're probably asking yourself, like, what the hell is happening, and can I even plan on the plans I've made? So that's kind of probably where a lot of you are at in any given sign, as a matter of fact, is like, what are my plans for the future? Are my plans that I've made and the time and money and efforts I've invested into things, is that going to go forward? So I think that's probably what's kind of the reason for this, just the slow movement, like I'm going forward no matter what, and I'm going to just keep my head held high and just do my best to go about my day to day. And the Queen of Swords, again, to me is about just keeping your head out of the nonsense. You might find that you are, you know, kind of firm with people that are acting ridiculous, who are probably, you know, saying and believing things that are just absolutely ridiculous. It might be annoying to you, but you have the Ten of Pentacles here coming out with this Knight of Pentacles. So you definitely have your home and family on your mind with what's going on, and this could be very well why this Four of Wands is here down the road. And so you have your home and family on your mind. Your concerns probably lie mostly in your home and family, and that's the reason why I'm going through with my day-to-day life with being deliberate and being bold, being graceful about things, because life does go on, and it will go on after this. However, it feels kind of slow. It's not a very fast moving circumstances. You have the Six of Wands, and you do have forward momentum. You might have to drop some things, leave some things behind that you can't tend to right now, and you have to go on without certain things in your life. You have to go on without taking care of certain things, so you may have to cut some things out, and you may have to make the decision to just shelve some things, table some things. Some of these things might be things that are close to your heart. Some of you might be dealing with loss of employment, or just feeling kind of severed from that. And again, this is why your Ten of Pentacles is in your very recent past. This is to you, your family is everything, your loved ones, and that's probably where the most of your concern is. And then you have the Ten of Wands. So this is naturally kind of heavy. It's a hard burden to carry, because there are just some things about this that you can't really put down. A lot of this is more about being burdened by fears and the unknown. But let's see what the Queen of Swords is telling us right now in the present. So it's like you might be a little agitated and a little irritated, and kind of not wanting to put up with any crap. Some of you might be at the feel like you've had enough. You're at the breaking point, but you're maintaining your composure and just keeping a brave face. And you have the Six of Cups again. So this is like being very focused again on your family, what you love, what's important to you, and not being focused on the material. And I think this is very representative of being protective. You have the Queen of Wands. So you have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Despite everything, you are going forward. You are going about your day-to-day life. I think for many of you, your work continues on uninterrupted. And there may be a lot of changes, but doing it with some of you have jobs that can't stop, that you can't just not do your work. It's a necessity. And you have the Judgment, but you're probably going to have to make some decisions about your near future, about what you can really take on, and what you have to, again, like I said, leave behind. There are just some things that you're going to have to let go of and leave behind, and the Judgment is basically saying here, and the way these cards are, that you're going to have to make a decision about what's most important and what you can let go of. You have the Seven of Pentacles. This is about, to me, just if you lay some of these burdens down, some of these things that you can let go of, this is really saying in the present moment now, as you are, that this is going to allow what you have that's most important to flourish and to grow. This isn't just about money and resources, but this is also about family. This family is very prevalent in this reading, so this is going to have an effect, a positive effect on your family. Letting go of some of these things that you really can't do anything about right now, or probably are less important with the current circumstances. Doing that allows you to focus on family. And we have like another card here that's about union, celebration, accomplishment, and this to me is more probably represents worries that you have about things, about plans, about things, events that are supposed to happen. And you have the Ten of Swords. So this is like really, some things probably are not going to play out the way you wanted to in the beginning of April. And so this Ten of Swords is just feeling very kind of defeated by that. Or maybe they're just not going to play out at this time, but down the road you may have to just do some things down the road. You might have to rearrange any plans that you have, but some of these things you may have an important event coming up, and it could very well be a disappointment that you can't go ahead with that. You have the Hermit. This is a lot about self-reliance in this reading here, relying on yourself. Not letting yourself be caught up in what is kind of heavy and holding back some of the things that you had high hopes for. And this Hermit is really about finding inner balance. Acceptance is one of the words that comes to me in this with this card, is accepting things as they are right now, because just some things we can't change no matter how much we want to. And being open also being open to what it is that you do have at your immediate disposal, knowing that there is a divine counterpart, and that there is guidance there is something unseen that is leading you, that is guiding you. What else we have? Aquarius, Three of Cups. So there is a sense of harmony in this with those that you love and care about, a sense of togetherness and of caring for one another. You may have close family that you will probably feel a lot closer to in the near future. This is probably something that's, maybe there's some people you've been too busy for. They've been too busy for you, and this allows you guys to spend more time communicating, or more time together. This could be more time together with your family. This could be people in your inner circle. Some of you, if you had a wedding planned, something like that, it might have to be kept very small and celebrated later. And we have the King of Pentacles here. So yeah, the Knight of Pentacles at the very beginning, and this is like this forward movement that's just kind of slow, but nonetheless it's forward, and it's like a very protective kind of feeling. And you know, we, like I said, we have all these cards about family and relationships, and this King of Pentacles really is pointing out that you are taking, or you will be taking, kind of a step up, or a more dignified or responsible role, either in your life or with those that are close to you. And that role that you take is almost like an example, being an example, being very resolved, but also having, you know, that common sense approach to life as it is right now. And you know, not being short-tempered or aggressive or triggered, but just being very grounded and very resourceful. And so I think that, you know, in the end, coming up into the first week of April, you probably start to find some balance, but that's really dependent on, you know, this level of acceptance and just being okay with things as they are, knowing that some plans change, but ultimately in the end, you know, your plans do, you know, they do at some point go forward, but this is a lot about just being kind of in slow motion. So that's probably how you feel, and I think that's probably like how a lot of people feel. They probably don't feel like that their plans are, you know, very set in stone right now. So you have the Six of Pentacles in here, and I think you had the Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and you had the Six of Cups. So definitely there's this kind of you know, charity, or this just sense of resourcefulness right now. You know, being giving to those who are needing your help, or those around you that may be contributing to help you out. I think this is a lot about just right now the overall community that you'll have with those close to you. It's really about not just self-reliance, but this is about relying on one another. And I think that's probably going to be the theme for you for at least the next several weeks. But in the end, your plans do move forward, just like everybody else at some point. So with that said, this is kind of what you're going through right now and what you can expect for the next 2 weeks. If you feel like this fits with you, it'll fit. It's not going to be something you got to stretch and you know, to mold into your life. If you feel like you have to do that, it's not for you. With that said, I appreciate your time. If you feel like this is on point, if it, you know, resonates and fits with you, please do take the time. I would appreciate it if you take the time to leave a comment, share, or subscribe. And with that, have a good rest of your day.